Now, I want to talk about the Queen because there's plenty of people who are, banging away at their computers with the think pieces on the internet, suggesting that the monarchy is currently at a crisis point and how the Queen handles the Prince Andrew situation will determine the future of the monarchy. Just relax, settle down. He's a spare parts royal, let's be honest, and he's being parked up the back, all right? If he has cases to answer and all the rest of it, that process plays itself out. But I'm pretty sure the royal family is relatively solid, that the Queen, for as long as she wants to, or when naturally things change, then it's Chuck, the same thing happens, then it's Will, and then it's George. They seem to have a system already built into the model about how to renew themselves.
Yeah, and I think if you look at what's already going on now, Paul, I mean, the Queen is stepping back and back and back. And you can see, for instance, William is doing a lot of the international ambassador, not Christina Keneally style ambassador, but he's doing the ambassador kind of work. I mean, he's been over in Oman as a future king talking to what are kings and things. And I think he's doing quite well at that, which is an interesting dynamic. William's also doing a lot of the presenting awards. Charles is who they're saying is actually the one that, put the foot down on Andrew and kicked him to the curb, but not necessarily the Queen. And if the regency ends up happening in 18 months' time when the Queen turns 95, then, of course, that's, the next piece to carry on. But regardless of what you say, or anybody says, I mean, Andrew is irrelevant. He's not part of... He's never going to be the King of England. In fact, it's going to be exactly what you said, Charles, then William, then George. And that is the way it's going. You can see they're pulling back also to the wider members of the family. And I don't think this is going to necessarily shake the foundations of it. I think what does shake the foundations, if they hadn't have acted and they hadn't sort of exercised Andrew, I think the royal family will have to offer him up to Scotland Yard because he has raised so many questions by his inaccuracies and how the internet has completely shut him down. Like, I don't sweat. Here's the pictures of him sweating. I'm not a party boy, but look at these massive diluted, eyes. There's so many questions that he has to answer, and I think they need to offer him up. But secondly, back to this sort of wokeness crazy stuff, whether it's, the Incredible Sulk or Meghan and Harry jumping on flights and then claiming climate change issues. I mean, you've got to have a degree of consistency across these things. And I think if the royal family don't offer up Andrew, particularly in the light of the victims that have been abused here, then it makes their ability to actually sit there and help people so much diminished.
All right.